Now that you got the peekaboo fighting stance, we're gonna go right to footwork, movement. Fighting is the art of moving at the correct time. So you gotta be able to move to your opponent or move away from your opponent safely. So the first movement we're gonna do is just going forward. Now there's all kinds of other different forms of footwork. In these fundamental peekaboo moves videos, I'm just gonna show you the very basic footwork, and then down the road I can add in other footwork. So from your peekaboo stance, I wanna go forward. So I'm just gonna go forward. You're gonna see with the peekaboo style, there's a lot of short-ranged, explosive type hopping footwork, okay? But I'm not jumping up or jumping forward. It's explosive, dynamic movements. So from my stance, I want to go forward. When I go forward, I want to drive off my rear foot. That is the spark plug, or the piston of my fighting stance is driving off that rear foot, okay? So I'm going to drive off, and I'm just going to step forward with my lead foot, and then my lead foot's going to land, and then my rear foot is going to land. I call it the drive step, like I'm driving forward. Okay, so I'm here, I'm just going to drive forward. Okay, one more time, drive forward. Now it could be longer or shorter, doesn't matter. Now I'm going to drive backwards or explode backwards. I'm going to drive off the lead foot now and land on the rear foot and then land on my lead foot. 1, 2, 1, 2. So going forward, 1, 2, 1, 2. Going backwards, 1, 2, 1, 2. And notice I'm staying in that peekaboo stance, that squared off stance, and trying to maintain that medium crouch. Not a low crouch, because you're going to burn your legs out. Imagine fighting out of a low crouch for 12 rounds. You got to have the endurance of Rocky Marciano to be able to do that. But even he didn't do that. So, going forward, going backwards. Forward, step, step, backward, step, step. Now, I can do it a little bit softer, or it'll go softer backwards, or I can do it more dynamically, more explosive, like I need to go explode and bridge the gap to my opponent. Okay, so once you get forward and backwards down, now we're sidestepping. Same movement. So let's say I'm going to go to my right-hand side out of my stance. I'm going to drive off my opposite foot, step out with my right foot. My right foot's going to land, and then my left foot's going to land. So here, from the peekaboo stance, right there. Okay, now opposite, do the same thing, going back to the left-hand side. I'm going to drive off this leg. Okay, now I can go back. Remember, I can do it softer, or I can do it more explosively. Okay, so now once you get all 4 directions, I can just practice going forward, backwards, and side to side. So if I want to go forward twice, backwards twice, to the right twice, and then back to the left, and return home in front of the camera. So you can see how I can do that. I can do any combination, okay? A lot of your training when you're learning the peekaboo style, a lot of your training is going to be stationary in the beginning. So you're going to be stationary and moving out of that position and punching, moving your head. And then as you learn all the moves and you get better at what you're doing, then you can start moving and using different types of footwork, which I'll cover later. That is, I call the drive step, or the 4-directional movement pattern: forward, backwards, right, and left. Now we're going to focus on springing to the side, or getting to the side of your opponent. For this footwork drill, I'm going to bring over a medicine ball, and it's going to represent your opponent. So I'm going to put the medicine ball right here so you can see it on camera. So I'm going to stand in front of my opponent. Okay, so I'm going to be able to spring to the right-hand side and then spring to the left-hand side. Very similar to the previous footwork drill I showed you, where you're pushing off the rear foot. But on this one, if I spring to the right, I'm going to drive off that lead foot. So out of my peekaboo stance, I'm going to push off this lead foot, and I'm going to take this foot almost like a diagonal step through. So I'm going to step through and then land in more of a southpaw position. So again, starting from my peekaboo stance, I'm going to drive off that lead foot. It's almost a hop or a jumping type motion, but I'm not coming too far off the ground, and I'm not jumping up into the air. I'm going to spring to the side. So I drive off, spring, and then land in that southpaw position. So it's very important to understand weight distribution. So when I land, majority of my weight is on my right leg when I spring to the right, and the rest is on my left leg. So I would say a good ratio of like 70 to 30%. So 70% to 30% weight distribution. And when I'm here, I'm in that crouch position, because from this position, remember my opponent's the medicine ball. I can rotate into a right hand to the head or a right hand to the body. Then I can spring back home in front of my opponent. So again, spring to the right, spring, land in that crouch, and then I can rotate into those punches. So I'm going to spring back home in front of my opponent. Now I'm going to go to the left-hand side. Same thing applies, except when I went to the right, I landed in that southpaw position. When I spring to the left, I'm just going to stay in my orthodox stance. So I'm here, I'm going to drive off the rear foot now, I'm going to spring to the side, land in that crouch, okay? 70%, 30% weight distribution. And then from this position, I can just rotate into left hook to the head or body. So I go back, spring to the left, land in that crouch position, and then spring back. Spring to the right, spring home, spring to the left, and spring home. This is a very important piece of footwork, because remember, you don't want to just stand in front of your opponent. You want to stay right in front of your opponent where he can hit you with power shots. Two ways I want to get to the side of my opponent. I can do it with head movement, either by slipping, by weaving, okay? Or I can use footwork to get to the side, okay? Because from this position here, I can unload with bad intentions, full power shots, and I'm in a safer position because my opponent's going to have to turn to hit me hard. So again, quick review. I'm going to spring to the right, spring home, spring to the left, and spring home. But the sooner you can get punching out of it, the better. So if I spring to the right, I can rotate into that hook to the body, hook to the head, or straight right to the head. If I spring back home, if I spring to the left, hook to the body, hook to the head, and spring back home. So that, my friends, is springing to the side, getting to the side of your opponent. Now we're going to focus on what is called the twist. Okay, the twist is probably the most popular peekaboo move because they've seen Mike Tyson do it. Okay, but the thing you got to focus on is doing it correctly. And the first thing we do, if I was teaching you peekaboo, is I'm going to have you do a full twist or a full 180-degree twist. Obviously, you're not going to do this with your opponent because you're not going to give up, turn your back to your opponent. But it's just a training drill to get you to explosively twist your body and to land in that correct medium crouch peekaboo stance. So, starting from your peekaboo stance. So I'm going to go to the right. So I'm going to turn. So let me just show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to twist. And I'm going to face this way, land, and then I'm going to twist back. So the twist, it's called a twist because you're twisting your body. You see how I'm twisting my body? So you do it in your stance. I'm going to twist, land hard. I'm going to land hard in that crouch. Then I can twist back. Okay? So again, from my stance, I'm going to twist. Okay? And then I'm going to twist back. That's twisting to the right-hand side. I'm twisting this way, okay? Now, if I twist to the left, same thing. I'm in that peekaboo stance. I'm going to stay low in that medium crouch, and I'm going to keep my feet to the ground, twist. I'm going to land hard in that crouch position, okay? Not a low crouch, that medium crouch. And then I'm going to explode back, home, okay? So now I can twist to the right, and then I can twist to the left. So out of my peekaboo stance. And mind you, sometimes when I'm teaching people, when they're in the actual peekaboo stance where their right foot is back and their left foot is forward, sometimes it can be hard for them to learn how to twist properly, even spring to the side. So how I like to teach them in the beginning is to have them stand in that neutral stance. There's nothing wrong with that. You're just learning that. Okay, you can stand in that neutral stance. It's a little bit easier to land, okay, and turn and twist. So that's just a little training tip. If you're having problems with this in your stance, with this foot forward, this foot back, you can go up into like a neutral position and then do the twist from there. So again, we're going to twist to the right. Remember, I'm crouched down. Bend the knees. I'm going to twist, land, land hard. That means I'm gonna, boom, I'm gonna land in that stance, and then I twist back home, keeping my hands and elbows pulled in. Now I can twist to my left, and then I can twist back home. So, like I said previously, this is just a training aid to learn how to twist and move your body correctly. Now, to do a twist in actual sparring or when you're drilling, we're gonna do what we call a half twist. So instead of doing a full twist, which is here and then back, I'm gonna do a half twist where I just go to the side, okay? And then I can twist back. Now I can do a half twist on the other side, twist to the side, and then I can twist back into my fighting stance. That is called the twist. This last piece of footwork, well, it's not really footwork because you're not moving your feet, you're bending your legs. It's called the knee bend. So out of that peekaboo fighting stance, remember I'm squared off, hands up, elbows pulled in, chin tucked. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit down like I'm doing a squat, like a back squat. Okay, I'm gonna squat down as far as I can, and what I'm gonna do is to help me with that is I'm gonna kick this rear heel out to allow my hips to go straight down. So again, if I'm here where my feet are more like this, I turn that heel out, squat all the way down, keeping my head up. I'm gonna get my butt out and then up. If you ever do a back squat, you want to keep the head up, shoot the butt out, keep the back straight. Same thing with the peekaboo knee bend. So I'm here, I'm gonna go down, up, down, up, down, up. Now, do you always have to turn your foot? You don't have to. I've seen people do it where their feet are flat, okay? I've seen people do it where they're up on this ball of the foot and they don't turn the foot. And then I've seen people do it where they turn the foot. All right, if you see footage of Tyson doing the knee bend, he turns that foot. Okay, so if it's good enough for Tyson, it's good enough for me. It's the way I look at it. So, knee bend. In that peekaboo stance, I'm just gonna go down and up. Now from the side, you can see I'm here. I got that medium crouch. Okay, I'm gonna turn that foot out all the way up. Okay, go down and up, down and up, keeping the head up. Okay, remember I don't wanna take my eyes off my opponent. If I start bending over when I do stuff, number one, I take my eyes off my opponent. Number two, I'm gonna get hit in the back of the head, and I don't wanna do that, okay? So that is what we call the knee bend. That is it, guys. That's your fundamental peekaboo style moves for footwork. Have a good day. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, like this video so you get the algorithm. Also, you can become a YouTube channel member where I'll be putting more detailed tutorial videos or extended topic videos down the road. Help support the channel. Have a good day.